Consider this. Hello science fans, Bill Nye here. Today we're diving into something super cool. It's all about engines and what makes them go. We're talking about thermodynamic cycles. Sounds fancy, right? But it's just how engines work. Think about it. Thermodynamic cycles are like recipes. Recipes for making motion. Engines use these recipes. They take fuel, like gasoline, and turn it into power. Power to move your car or fly a plane. It's all thanks to these cycles. Pretty neat, huh? These cycles are super important. Without them, engines wouldn't work. No cars, no trucks, no buses. Imagine that. So understanding them is key, especially for engineers. They design and build engines. Using these very principles, science helps us build things. Now, how do these cycles make engines go vroom? It's all about energy conversion. Engines are energy converters. They take chemical energy from fuel, think gasoline or diesel, and they change it into mechanical energy. That's the energy of motion. The cycle starts with fuel and air. This mixture gets into the engine, inside a cylinder usually. Then something happens to it. It gets squeezed, really tight. This is called compression. Pressure and temperature go way up. It's getting ready for action. Next comes the bang. The fuel ignites. This creates a hot, expanding gas. A lot of pressure. This pressure pushes a piston. The piston moves. This movement is work. Useful work that turns wheels. Not all thermodynamic cycles are the same. We can sort them into groups, like sorting your socks. But way more exciting, the first big group is air standard cycles. These are ideal cycles. They make some assumptions, like using air as the working fluid, and air behaves like an ideal gas, simplifies things for study. Then we have vapor power cycles. These cycles use a fluid that changes phase, like water turning into steam, and then back to water. Think of steam engines, or big power plants. The Rankine cycle is a famous one here. We'll talk more about it later. Steam power, still important. Finally, there are actual cycles. These are the cycles that really happen. In real engines, they are more complex. They account for things ideal cycles ignore, like friction and heat loss, and the real properties of fuels and combustion products. Real-world science is messy but fascinating. Air standard cycles are super useful, even though they are simplified. Let's talk about a famous air standard cycle, the Otto cycle, named after Nicholas Otto. He didn't invent the engine, but he made it practical. This cycle is for spark ignition engines, like the gasoline engine in your car. It has 4 main steps, or strokes of the piston. First, the intake stroke. The piston moves down. It draws in a mix of fuel and air. Into the cylinder, the intake valve is open. The exhaust valve is closed. Getting ready for the squeeze. It's like taking a deep breath. For the engine, of course. Next is the compression stroke. The intake valve closes. The piston moves up, squeezing that fuel-air mixture, making it hot and dense. Both valves are closed now. This prepares it for ignition. Lots of potential energy here. Pressure building. Then boom! The power stroke. A spark plug ignites the mixture. Combustion happens very fast, almost instantly. Heat is added at constant volume. Pressure shoots way up. This pushes the piston down. This is where the work happens. Vroom! Power! Yes! Section 5. The diesel cycle. Compression is key. Named after Rudolf Diesel. He had a brilliant idea. This cycle is for compression ignition engines. You guessed it, diesel engines. Found in big trucks, buses and ships. Powerful and efficient. The diesel cycle has 4 strokes. Intake, compression, power, exhaust. But there's a key difference, especially in how fuel is ignited. No spark plugs needed here. It's all about high compression. So hot it can ignite fuel, all by itself. Now for the power stroke. Fuel is injected into the cylinder. It ignites instantly. As the fuel burns, the piston moves down. Big power. Section 6. The dual cycle. Best of both? Maybe. So we have Otto with its spark and diesel with its supercompression. What if you could combine them? Well, scientists thought about that, and they came up with the dual cycle, sometimes called the mixed cycle or limited pressure cycle. It's like a hybrid, trying to get advantages from both. The dual cycle is also an air standard cycle. It aims to model some real engines, especially modern high-speed diesel engines. These engines don't perfectly fit the ideal Otto or diesel cycle. Combustion takes a little time. It's not all instant or all at constant pressure. Reality is complex. How does heat get added in this cycle? This is the clever part. It happens in two stages. First, some heat is added at constant volume, just like the Otto cycle. A quick burst of combustion. This raises the pressure fast, but not all the fuel burns yet. There's more to come. Then more heat is added, but this time at constant pressure, just like the diesel cycle. As the piston starts to move down, the rest of the fuel burns, keeping the pressure steady for a bit. So it's part Otto, part diesel in the heat addition phase, a two-step process. The other strokes are similar: intake of air or mixture, compression of that air. Section 7. All aboard the Rankine cycle. Steam power. Choo-choo. Let's switch gears. From internal combustion engines to the Rankine cycle. This is a vapor power cycle. It uses a fluid that changes phase, usually water, turning into steam. Think old steam trains. Choo-choo. The Rankine cycle is super important, not just for old trains, but for most electricity generation. Coal power plants, nuclear power plants. Many use the Rankine cycle to turn heat into electricity. It's a workhorse of the power industry, making the world go round, literally with turbines. Section 8. Cycles compared, and why this stuff matters. Science. Wow! We've covered a lot of cycles: Otto, diesel, dual, and Rankine. Each one is special. Each one has its place in the world of engines and power. Let's do a quick comparison. Science loves tables. They make things clear. Consider this. Here's a little table for you. Cycle name, primary application, working fluid, ideal, heat addition process, typical ideal efficiency range, Otto cycle, gasoline engines, cars, motorcycles, air, constant volume, 40 to 55%, diesel cycle, diesel engines, trucks, buses, ships, air, constant pressure, 45 to 60%, dual cycle, some high-speed diesel engines, air, constant volume and constant pressure, 45 to 60%, varies. Rankine cycle, steam power plants, steam engines, water steam, constant pressure in boiler, 20 to 45%, simple cycle. This table gives you a snapshot. See how they differ? Applications, how heat is added, even their ideal efficiencies. Diesel cycles tend to be more efficient than Otto cycles generally, due to higher compression ratios. Rankine cycle efficiency depends on many factors, like temperatures and pressures. Understanding these cycles is crucial. For mechanical engineers, for sure, they design better engines, more efficient engines, cleaner engines. That's good for everyone.